Have you suddenly found yourself on a product page while scrolling through Instagram recently? Or have you felt like you're missing out on life? Like you've been left behind because you haven't visited the vacation spot shared by an influencer? If you're thinking, yes, exactly this, right now, it's not surprising. Because social media has become the quietest yet most destructive enemy between you and your money. You remember, right? You used to have some thinking time before buying something, going to the store, looking at prices, making comparisons. And now, from the moment you open your phone, you find yourself inside a consumption tunnel. And at the end of that tunnel, what awaits you? An empty wallet and a full credit card statement. Please think for a minute. How many times in the last few days have you thought, I should buy this because of something you saw on social media? How many times have you looked at a story and said, I wish I had this bag, this motorcycle, or this phone? This is exactly where the phenomenon we call FOMO Finance comes into play. Fear of missing out is no longer just a social concept. It's a psychological weapon aimed directly at your wallet. So, how could your brain have turned into a shopping cart? I must say this. Social media platforms are a giant laboratory designed for you to spend. Every swipe, every like, every story, they are all part of a consumption cycle. But here is the truly insidious part. You don't even notice it. Previously, when you saw a billboard, you would perceive it this way. This is an advertisement and they are trying to sell me something. Your defense was active. But now, when you see someone you love buying a beautiful device and sharing a photo of it, your brain doesn't perceive it as an advertisement. You think, my friend looks very satisfied. Maybe if I buy it too. Here is the strangeness. Advertising no longer looks like advertising. It is presented as a lifestyle, a culture, and you are drawn into this story without realizing it. Just think about it. Your friend takes a photo of themselves eating a luxury meal at a luxury restaurant and shares it on their Instagram account. Underneath it says, I rewarded myself today. Let me tell you what will happen in your brain. First, a comparison. Am I rewarding myself too? Then, a sense of lack. Maybe I'm living an incomplete and inadequate life. And finally, a search for a solution. I need to do something too. Congratulations. In 3 seconds, a need was created in your brain and you perceived it as your own idea. The cost of comparison, more than $500. I would like to share the result of a research study I conducted with you immediately. People who spend more than 2 hours a day on social media spend an average of $4,000 to $6,500 more annually on unnecessary expenses than those who spend less time. But the truly unbelievable thing is this. Most of these people do not see it as unnecessary because those expenditures have become a necessity for them. So how does this happen? Social media creates a constant upward pull. In other words, you are constantly comparing your life with someone else's. And the person you are comparing yourself to always looks a little better than you, a little happier, a little more successful, a little more stylish. Let's give an example. Let's say you earn $4,000 a month, and by your own standards, it's a good income that can meet your needs. However, those you follow on Instagram live as if they earn $10,000, which they definitely don't earn, but we'll talk about that later. You also spend money to bring your life closer to theirs. The result? $4,000 income, $6,000 spending. So how is the difference covered? By getting into installments with credit cards, by going into debt. The saddest part of this situation is that while in this cycle, you deceive yourself with sentences like, I am investing, or I deserve a quality life too. But even if you know this, the primitive part of your brain processes it as real, and it says, why is my life like this? Evolutionarily, thousands of years ago, if you didn't go to where the group hunted, you went hungry, or if you left the herd, you were at high risk of losing your life. That's why today the brain still asks the same question. If everyone is there, why am I staying here? Now, let's make a comparison. Pre-FOMO Finance era. You would question your real need before buying a product. You wouldn't know and wouldn't care what your neighbor bought. You would measure success by your own criteria. Your spending plan was according to your own income. FOMO. Finance era. Before buying a product, you look and ask, does everyone use it? Interestingly, you know what the 1,000 people you follow use and how. You evaluate success according to the living standards of others. Your spending plan is shaped according to the ideal life image determined by others. Do you see the difference? You used to be the hero of your own story. Now you are literally an extra in other people's stories. So, what are its psychological triggers? How do they manipulate you? Social media platforms and brands know very well which buttons in your brain to push. I will list the most common triggers for you immediately. First of all, in first place is limited time pressure. Only today. Last one product. 2 hours 15 minutes left. When you see these messages, cortisol, the stress hormone, will be released in your brain and you will feel that you need to take action immediately. Really stop and think. Do you think that product will be removed tomorrow? No, but you are made to feel that way. Secondly, social proof presentation. 10,000 people bought it. Best sellers. Influencer named X uses and recommends it. Your brain is evolutionarily programmed to follow the herd. If everyone is doing something, you think it must be the right thing. You can trust the choices of others without doing your own research. 3. Identity construction. What kind of person are you? Reflect your style. You deserve this. This is the most dangerous one, because buying a product is no longer just buying something. It has become building an identity, a character. A coffee cup is not just a coffee cup. It means being someone who has a regular morning routine, whose life is under control, and who lives minimally. And you think this is real because there is an identity gap inside you, and you choose the consumption path to fill it. I would like to tell a life story. The numbers I will give are for illustrative purposes. Jennifer and her $1,000 aesthetic life. Let's connect with a real story. Jennifer is a 26-year-old young woman working in the digital marketing sector. Her monthly income is $4,000. Do you think it's a good income on paper? This young girl is exposed to, I start the day like this. I take care of myself like this. I love these products content multiple times a day by following accounts that share aesthetic lifestyle content on Instagram. And she slowly decides to change. She orders a special $250 coffee machine for her morning routine. Yoga mat, diffuser, journaling notebooks, special highlighters. She shapes her wardrobe according to the capsule wardrobe concept, but this costs $2,000. 10 different products for her skincare routine, monthly $1,000. Organic market shopping for healthy living, 40% more than other markets. As a result, these give birth to $6,000 in credit card debt within 6 months. Are you ready? The most tragic part is that Jennifer doesn't feel any better at all, because the accounts she follows constantly share new products, new activities, and new routines. When she buys something, the goalpost moves even further away. Think about it. Did Jennifer have a problem before these purchases? No. The only problem was that she was constantly made to feel incomplete, left behind, late for something. To summarize the career dimension of this situation in one sentence, where you spend your money determines where you will go. It might sound a bit funny when put this way. Let me explain the most critical part. FOMO Finance affects not only your current budget, but also your future career. While one person spends money on aesthetic coffee cups they see on Instagram, the other invests in online courses, certificates, and networking events. I think it can be predicted where everyone will be in 5 years at this point. The person under the influence of FOMO is still in the same position, but with more debt. The other is in a new position, with a 2 times higher salary. And the irony is this. Then, the first one will still look at the second one on Instagram and think, how did they succeed? Mindset shift, from consumer to investor. Now I'm going to ask you a very deep question, and I want you to ask this honestly to yourself. Who are you? Do you define yourself as a consumer or an investor? Consumers consume value instead of creating value. However, investors evaluate every expenditure as an investment. Social media constantly whispers to you, life is short, live now, buy now, consume now. This message draws you in, right? Humans have always feared uncertainty. The future is vague, but the product we add to the cart is quite concrete and belongs to the now. But what no one tells you, and what is true, is this. Today's unnecessary purchase is tomorrow's lost freedom. That $800 jacket could actually have been the first installment of your 6-month emergency fund. That state-of-the-art television you bought with installments could actually have been equipment that would open a door to side income. Have you decided which one you are? If you still don't understand, I can make you understand. There is a very simple way. Look at your card activities. Has 80% of your money in the last 6 months gone to instant consumption or to future planning? The answer shows who you are. So why don't we talk about money with the people around us? Let's break this taboo of silence together. In many societies, talking about money is considered rude. You know that, right? When I say money, I'm talking about our own money, like stating your income, sharing your expenses, confessing your debts. Whose benefit do you think this silence serves? Think about it. If the person you follow had written under their Instagram photo that they bought that product in 5 installments and went into debt, would you still envy them? No. That's why transparency is FOMO's greatest enemy. You can reveal this yourself by conducting a real experiment. Sit down with 3 friends and talk openly. Your income, your debt, the amount you set aside for savings, what you spend the most money on. This might be a tense conversation at first, but then I'm telling you clearly that you will see everyone is struggling with similar problems. And those perfect lives are actually just fiction. I've explained all this, but I haven't told you how to get out of this cycle. Let me show you how to get out with practical steps. Theory is nice, but when it comes to practice, you need a roadmap. 1. First, you must implement a social media detox. That is, you will need to delete your Instagram app for 30 days. Yes, completely. Don't worry, only for 30 days. During this time, note down your expenses and compare them with the previous month. I guarantee you will spend at least 30% less on unnecessary items. 2. Step 2 is the 72-hour rule. When you want to buy a product you see on social media, wait 72 hours before buying it. During this time, I want you to ask yourself this question. If I hadn't seen this, would I still want to buy it? With an 80% probability, the answer will be no. 3. Step 3. Real cost. Calculation. Divide the price of a product by your hourly wage. For example, when you buy $200 shoes while your hourly wage is $20, you will have to work for 10 hours. Ask yourself this question too. So, are these shoes worth 10 days of my work? 4. Step 4 is the anti-FOMO box. Every month, write down the things you want to buy on a list. Also note the money you saved. Please look at that list again 3 months later. Yes, you will probably neither remember any of them nor see how unnecessary the things you didn't buy were. The most important thing I will tell you in this video is, your money is your story. Every expenditure adds a page. Every saving opens a success chapter from the future. Every conscious decision makes you the hero of your life. While FOMO sells you someone else's story, write your own pages. When you look back 10 years later, let it not consist of fiction. The first thing you should do after watching this video is to get a coffee and write down your financial goals. If the second thing is to subscribe to my channel via the subscribe button, I would be the happiest person. See you soon.